In this video, we are going to talk about the vertical line test. Now, the vertical line test is simply a method we use to determine whether a relation is a function. Now, here is how we go about it. We draw an imaginary vertical line on a graph, such as this one. Now, if the vertical line intersects this graph exactly once, then it's a function. If it intersects the graph more than once, then it is not a function. So let's use the illustrations we have before. So before us, we are having a quadratic graph. Now, this quadratic graph is definitely a relation, but the question is that, is this relation a function? Now, earlier we said that when we are dealing with a relation, if it is a function, one input is going to be exactly giving us one output. But if we are to use the vertical line test, we are simply going to draw a vertical line. So we shall get this and draw a vertical line right there. Anywhere, we can draw it right there. Or we draw a vertical line right there. Now, when we drew our vertical lines, we realized that this line crossed this quadratic graph exactly once. Even this one, it crossed exactly once. So what does that mean? It means that this quadratic graph is an even function, because using the vertical line test, it is crossing this thing exactly once. Let's look at another graph. We have another graph here. This is our y-axis, this is our x-axis. We're having this graph, and we want to identify this relation to see whether it's a function. So using the vertical line test again, we are going to draw our vertical line like that. And of course, when we draw our vertical line like that, we realize that it is crossing here, it is crossing the graph here. So it is crossing that graph exactly twice, and we say that if this vertical line intersects the graph more than once, then this is not a function. So basically, this relation is not a function. Let's look at another graph. We shall be repeating the same procedure here. Still, we are going to get our vertical line, and we are going to draw like that. And when we draw our vertical line, it is intersecting the graph exactly once. And when it intersects it exactly once, then we say this relation is a function. And then finally, we have a circle. X squared plus y squared is equal to 1. Again, we shall do our vertical line test. We shall draw. When we draw it, it intersects at that point and at that point. And since it's intersecting this more than once, then it means that this relation is not a function. So one thing to really take note of is that before you really decide on whether a relation is a function or not, you have to make sure that you have explored all the possibilities. You try as many vertical lines as possible to make sure that the vertical line is going through either once or more than once. So in summary, we said that the vertical line test is simply a method that we are going to use to determine whether a relation is a function. And how we go about it is very simple. We draw a vertical line, and if the vertical line intersects the graph exactly once, then that graph that it has intersected is a function, or we can say then it means that relation is a function. But if it intersects it more than once, then that relation is not a function. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out other excellent videos on the channel, and don't forget to subscribe. For Kisembo Academy, this is Arnold Rangakuramia helping you manifest excellence.